Good afternoon, everybody. Isaac Petcash here for Erie News Now. We're going straight to a double box here on the Erie News Now alert desk as we are learning breaking news today from the CDC. It's all across the news and now on our news platform here. The CDC, Dr. Rochelle Walensky and her staff, as you can see in the right box, have just announced that fully vaccinated people do not need to wear a mask inside in most places and do not need to socially distance anymore inside. So this is breaking news from the CDC. We've been talking about the restrictions in Pennsylvania that will soon end on May 31st, but this is just coming out of the CDC. And what this means is that if you're fully vaccinated inside in most spaces, you do not need to wear a mask. Let me tell you what the entire release says here from the Center for Disease Control. The CDC is easing indoor mask-wearing guidance for fully vaccinated people, allowing them to safely stop wearing masks inside in most places. The new guidance was announced Thursday. It will still call for wearing masks in crowded indoor settings like buses, planes, hospitals, prisons, and homeless shelters, but could ease restrictions for reopening workplaces and schools. The CDC will also no longer recommend that fully vaccinated people wear masks outdoors in crowds. So not only do you not have to wear a mask indoors, you also now, if you're fully vaccinated, do not have to wear a mask outdoors as well. The statement continues and it reads, Dr. Rochelle Walensky, the director of the CDC, says the long-awaited change is thanks to millions of people getting vaccinated and based on the latest science about how well these shots are working. So, if you think about the timeline in the last week or so of this pandemic, we learned just a week ago that Pennsylvania was going to relax restrictions. They would be easing all restrictions not related to mask wearing on May 31st, which means restaurants could open up to 100%. Outdoor gatherings could open at 100%. Concerts could be full venues. Stadiums could be full venues. Then we learned just yesterday that the state bordering us, Ohio, was also going to loosen all of their pandemic-related restrictions. And that was going to happen on June 2nd. Again, the same thing. Restaurants open at 100%. Venues also allowed to participate at full capacity as well. But this is major news because this is coming from the national sector. This means that the entire landscape of the U.S. is allowed to have these rules put in place, which means that if you're fully vaccinated, the guidance suggests from the CDC you no longer need to wear a mask. You no longer need to socially distance, and that applies for indoor and outdoor spaces. The only place where this doesn't apply would be on crowded areas, and we listed a few from the CDC: buses, planes, trains, hospitals, prisons, and homeless shelters. So those in particular are what the CDC is saying you still need to wear a mask in. So what does this mean? Well, this is number one on the list of reasons to go get a vaccine. We've been talking about from different hospital directors and different epidemiologists. Dr. Becky Dawson has been our contributor throughout this entire pandemic about the key to getting a vaccine and what this means. Well, it gives you guidance like this. And on a day like today, May 13th, in the middle of a month where we've gone a year plus, we're having these restrictions and mask mandates. We now are at a point where the CDC believes we are safe enough to be able to get rid of the mask if you are fully vaccinated and have had both of your shots and are around other fully vaccinated people. So that's what we're learning today. Again, this is guidance, so this is not a mandate, but this is guidance by the CDC saying, listen, if you have both shots or if you have the Johnson & Johnson vaccine, then you do not need to wear a mask in public and you don't need to wear a mask indoors or outdoors. So that's breaking news coming out of the national scene. We, of course, will have more news tonight on what this means for you, and we'll see if we can get Erie leaders to react to this tonight on Erie News Now as we're getting this into our newsroom just around 2:30. Okay, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you in just a bit. Stay tuned on air and online. We'll bring you more coverage